Francisco Bay. How did the shopping carts get there? Where did they come from? Well, let's all find out together. Here's a report from ABC7 in the Bay.
New from 7 on your side, pollution along the peninsula shoreline feeding into the bay.
Are shopping carts considered pollution?
I know they're not biodegradable.
All right, here we go.
7 on your side, pollution along the peninsula shoreline feeding into the bay.
The contaminants, apparently dozens of shopping carts. 7 on your side, Stephanie Sierra investigates now and is here with what she found. Shopping carts, Steph?
That's right, Larry and Kristen. This area is right along the San Francisco Bay Trail in South San Francisco. Now, the marsh is essentially the mouth of Coma Creek, which feeds right into the bay. And while this is a popular walking and running trail, people here are starting to notice something in the water.
Don't give Mexico any ideas, or these are going to start popping up in the Tijuana River, too.
You can smell it right here.
I had a feeling that was coming. Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe those are rocks or something.
I don't know, that's kind of weird.
This is the vantage point for people walking along the San Francisco Bay Trail. Looks like a marsh, right? Well, if you look a bit closer and closer, you start to see debris.
It looks like the La Brea tar pits, but instead of dinosaurs, it's shopping carts.
Well, the homeless had to put them there.
And a lot of it. An extreme amount of shopping carts out there.
Someone was playing supermarket sweep in the swamp.
That sounds gross.
Rose works for a nearby garbage company. She says she walks this trail every day, but has never seen anything like this. It's actually kind of insane to think about how they even got there. Same story for others who frequent the trail. At first,
you're surrounded by natural beauty and shopping carts plunged into the swamp.
Mind you, this is a state that regards itself as green, and they will bend over backwards to make life as difficult as possible for you in the name of being green, yet they allow the shopping carts to go directly into the bay.
Mistaking the debris for rocks until you actually stare at it. Have you noticed it before?
Wait, those rocks have wheels on them, and that one says Safeway.
And there's a bag of groceries in that one.
You know, I've never seen this before.
No. There's quite a few. Well, because when it's high tide, you don't notice it, but they do look like shopping carts. It's hard to say for sure, but at low tide, it certainly looks like shopping carts.
It does look like shopping carts, among some other things.
And there's not just one or two, but what appear to be dozens of them spanning the bay.
I wonder when prices spike at the grocery stores, whether it be Safeway, Ralph's, what have you, are they pricing in the cost of your $7 jar of mayonnaise, the cost of replacing all these shopping carts over and over again because they keep getting stolen?
Oh. They have every trick in the book to try to keep those shopping carts from being stolen, yet they get stolen all the time. This morning, I took my car to the car wash, and while my car was being washed, I walked to Target, which is in the same shopping center as the car wash, and I bought a bunch of stuff. Well, I bought heavy stuff, so I didn't want to have to carry it all the way to the car wash. So I asked a woman at the Target, can I just leave my shopping cart here and just have someone keep an eye on it or something so I can go pick up my car from the car wash and then load it? And she said, no, it'll likely get stolen. And I said, okay, will the shopping cart go all the way to the car wash so then I can unload my stuff there? And she said, no, it'll go as far as Starbucks and then the shopping cart will lock up because the shopping carts keep getting stolen. And I said, so I have to take my shopping cart halfway there, leave it full in the middle of the parking lot, go pick up my car from the car wash, and hope that no one steals my groceries in the middle of the parking lot. And she said yes.
Well, this is the same retail establishment that locks up the shop.
So get out of the book and have to lock up the shop. I mean, have you ever seen this many shopping carts along the bay?
No, this is certainly a greater concentration than I've ever seen in one place.
Josh Quigley is the senior policy manager for Save the Bay.
I think it's truly afford
The bay does need some savings.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Right now it's full of coupons.
The bay is treated not as the jewel and resource that it should be, but as a dumping ground.
So, where is it all coming from? That seems to be up for debate. Well, there used to be a lot of homeless people around here, too.
I think we
Ding,
figured
ding,
it out.
ding, ding, ding.
But at what point does the homeless person stop using it to carry all their crap and they just shove it into the marsh?
Well, my guess is you'd have to upgrade your shopping cart every so often, too. It's like with the car. You can't drive the same car year in and year out and not have the tires go bad. And I don't know, it gets a little wobbly. It doesn't go in a straight line anymore. Then you have to retire it and trade it in for a new model. But you can't just take an old shopping cart that's broken down and doesn't work anymore back to the Safeway. You have to dump it in the bay and go steal a second one. Big prank if anything, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe Costco, these are our neighbors. A Costco business center is about a mile from Colma Marsh.
So if it's a Costco, those are some big old shopping carts in the marsh.
Oh, yeah. Because those shopping carts have to be big enough for a pallet of 45 croissants, snow tires, a double wide casket, and a tub of ketchup.
Seven on Your Side reached out to Costco's corporate office, and the South San Francisco Costco general manager told us, "We walk and clean the trail multiple times a week, in addition to checking for any carts that might end up in the bay. The goal now is to clean it out and ensure it stays that way."
There's only one planet we got, so take care of it.
I'm so for the planet. I love animals. It hurts me.
I'm so for the planet. I love animals. Stop dumping your carts in the swamp.
Yeah, I wonder if the fish ever get stuck in them.
See all this pollution, where their home is. Now, Save the Bay says overall pollution is decreasing across the bay shoreline, but there are instances like this one where smaller pockets need to be addressed. And locally, there are regulations in place to prevent this type of pollution, and we have contacted the San Francisco Bay Regional Water Quality Control Board to further investigate and clean up the area. And
Now, down the bay in San Jose, they're cracking down on this in a totally different way. We did the story a couple of months ago where the city will pick out all the shopping carts that are dumped in the creek, and then they bring them back to the grocery store, and then they bill them.
I wonder. Now, wait a minute. That's San Francisco Bay. That's the same bay where Scott Peterson dumped his dead wife, right?
Sure.
I wonder if what happens is when people dump bodies in there, they put them in the shopping cart and just give it a little love tap.
This segment got real dark real quick.
Well, I'm just thinking this through.
Your mind goes to interesting places, my friend.
have an update. Since we reported it, we have heard from a group of conservationists who plan to go out to the bay to clean up that area, and they're going to do it in an interesting way.
And you're going with them?
They're going to get a really, really, really big fishing hook.
Yeah, well, it better be attached to a crane because you can pull out a shopping cart on a line. Waiting out in the water.
Since it's on the video, it's very hard to tell if it says on the handle. Exactly, it is hard to tell, but it's nice to see the company working to address it as well.
Sure.
There you go. A whole bunch, dozens of shopping carts are just littering the marshes in the San Francisco Bay near the trail in South San Francisco.
Okay, I'm going to defend Costco here. It's not Costco's fault that bums steal the shopping carts and then dump them in the bay. Stealing a shopping cart is a crime. You're not allowed to do that.
What are we supposed to do? Arrest everyone that's pushing around a shopping cart that they don't own?
Yeah, isn't that the city's problem? If people are stealing things and no one's going to jail for it so they can steal whatever they want, and then I guess after a certain period of time, those stolen products have no value anymore, so they just dump it in the bay, that's not Costco's fault. Costco's the victim here.
But a shopping cart is worth less than $950, so a shopping cart theft is a misdemeanor, which means you get a ticket. which means we don't enforce it.
But that's a government problem. That's not a Costco problem.
No, you're right about that. Maybe they gotta lock them all inside.
It's the John Phillips Show. KABC dependable traffic. No.
In Sherman Oaks on the 405 South at the 101 North had an earlier accident. Looks like everything is over on the right shoulder. And on the 405 North just past Mulholland Drive, got that crash cleared to the right shoulder as well. Still going to be a slow ride northbound all the way from the 90. Mid-City LA on the 10 eastbound right at Venice Boulevard. We've got another new accident. They're trying to get this cleared from the left lane.
Here's the car pro, Jerry Reynolds, with a reason not to buy.
He paid $80,000 for it. Today, it's worth about $35,000. He still owed 60-something on it. I mean, it was just a horrible story. So, if he'd leased, he wouldn't have that problem. He could just walk away into the lease.
Get straight talk and honest answers about everything automotive on the Car Pro Show. Saturday morning, 10 to noon on AM 790 KABC.
June 27th at Griffith Park, Angelinos come together, not just to run, but to make a difference at the Union Rescue Mission's 5K and new 10K Run Walk. Whether you run, walk, or jog, every step you take brings hope, support, and the way home for our unhoused neighbors, providing warm meals, safe shelter, and a path to recovery when it's needed most. Sign up today at urm.org.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert instant loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money. Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away. Albert can get me up to $10,000? Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run. I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Messages data rates may apply. The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have. Think it could be lower testosterone? What do you mean? I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone and then moves their edge. That's why I take Genix Total T2. That's the testosterone booster, right? Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles? Yep, just in the text. Text HEM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HEM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Dr. No. How much trust do you have in the major media? Just before 1980, it was about 72%. It's now 28%. More Americans believe media favors Democrats than Republicans. Sure enough, Scott Pelley, get out of the way! Make way! Now we need traditional TV newsmen to guide us to the future. Armstrong and Getty. Morning, 6 to 9 on Fast Pace, Fast Pace. AM 790 KABC. It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is telephone number 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnny.likeshow@gmail.com. That's johnny.likeshow@gmail.com. Well, President Trump announced yesterday, I believe it was, that we have reached a deal with Iran and the war in the Middle East would be coming to an end.
I'll believe it when I see it.
People immediately thought, okay, does this mean I'll pay less at the pump? The answer is no.
It's going to take a while for gas prices to get back to where they were before this war. Why? Well, for that, let's go to a report from ABC in the Bay.
So a lot of us are now wondering how this agreement will impact the price of gas at the pumps. The ABC 7 Eyewitness News reporter Suzanne Fund gives us a closer look at that.
Get ready for some big chicken.
Boy, that motor sounds like a gas guzzler right there.
We're on the special blend already in California, correct?
The summer blend? I believe so.
Okay, and that is a lot more expensive than what we get to use in the winter.
Yes, but because, the uncertainty has kind of gone away with the ceasefire, prices are a little lower than they were a month ago. It's all very confusing. And then they're going to go up in 2 weeks with the gas tax going up.
We do such stupid things in the name of the environment and clean air and this and that. There's a fire going on right now in Calamasa, and the air quality where I live, well, let's just say, unless you're right in front of my face, I can't even see anything. And it smells like a barbecue that's been going on for 2 days.
President Donald Trump posted on social media Sunday, quote, "Ships of the world, start your engines, let the oil flow." But some economists say don't expect dramatic gas price drops overnight. Alex Field, a professor of economics at Santa Clara University, explains.
Oh, it could be weeks, it could be months. Essentially, again, the inventory stocks have been depleted. It's going to take time to restart production facilities.
But I also think people don't realize, or maybe people do now, but when this whole thing started, people didn't realize how long it takes for those supply chains to break down. If a tanker goes through the Strait of Hormuz today, it ends up in the United States like 2 months later.
Now that's a delay.
For the past month, though, gas prices have been dropping gradually. At this gas station at the corner of Bay and Taylor, you can see that a gallon of gas costs $6.29. Less
cheaper than where I am in the valley.
I buy my gas on Indian reservations. I don't have to pay the white man's taxes.
Last week, an employee tells me.
But how many times do you do that and then dip into the slot machine real quick?
Oh my God, they have a casino right there at the fill-in station.
That's how they make their money.
Well, let me tell you, I don't know how lucky I am. God really must like me a lot that there is no Ultimate X video poker in that gas station. Because if there was, it may be cheap gas, but it would be an expensive visit.
That it was about $6.69.
Prices have been falling at the gas pump. We're down 40 cents from the peak or more. They will likely continue to fall, but mostly they're catching up with the decline in oil prices that has already occurred.
U.S. crude oil has fallen nearly 5.
The gas station outside of my house, the peak was for paying with a credit card for premium gas, which there's a whole bunch of models of cars where you have to buy premium. They hit $7.99. Didn't hit $8. But we're getting real close.
What about that gas station on La Cienega by CBS Television City that's always crazy expensive?
Yeah, those ones are getting real crazy.
Did you see, by the way, that Newsom at one point flipped out on someone who posted a picture of the gas prices there and said, well, it may be expensive there, but look at all these other gas stations in the city of Los Angeles where it's a lot cheaper. And it's like, yeah, okay, you think you're dunking on that person, but they probably live there.
5%, or about $4 a barrel since Trump's announcement. Professor Severin Borenstein at the Haas School of Business says oil is still $15 a barrel, higher than before the war. Meanwhile, a standard gas tax that takes effect in California July 1st will add a few extra cents.
Because it's tied to inflation, yet it's inflationary, and around and around and around we go.
And Newsom will deny that taxes are the reason that gas is expensive.
That tax, which goes up every single year, it's been into effect for over a decade. Didn't that thing start in at 30-something cents tax, and now we're almost at 70?
Oh yeah. and it's just going to keep going up. Pretty small potatoes compared to the huge volatility in oil and gasoline prices we've seen over the last 3.5 months.
Yeah. Hey, what's another couple of cents? You can afford it. Do you think Gavin Newsom, before Memorial Day weekend, went to war with Chevron and say, Chevron's prices are way more expensive than everywhere else. Go to the unbranded gas stations. You'll save tons of money.
You know, I think Gavin Newsom just enjoys fighting.
He's one of those people that's just addicted to drama.
Because he's fighting with Trump, he's fighting with Ron DeSantis, he's fighting with Fox News, he's fighting with Chevron. Everything is a fight with him.
Yeah, I don't think he ever has a relaxing, chill day. I don't know why we're so damn cheapish.
Gasoline prices will drop gradually, but airfare travel costs won't move as quickly, according to experts.
Jet fuel is basically a fixed cost for an airline.
Late Sunday, drivers...
Well, the jet fuel already killed Spirit.
Well, I think a lot of things killed Spirit.
It just accelerated the demise.
Yeah, YouTube wasn't helpful for Spirit.
Got word of the tentative deal between the U.S. and Iran, and news that a drop in gas prices could eventually follow.
You know what I'm saying? I believe it when I see it. If prices start dropping, that's going to be like amazing.
Experts say don't
It's going to go down 10 whole cents. Of course, you know what's wild? The spiking gas prices that we saw for the first time showed a real differential in the price of the corn oil that they're trying to get everyone on, that E85 ethanol, to the point where I see gas stations advertising that stuff. I know it's not as good for mileage, but it was like $3 a gallon. And that's why the legislature is passing a bill this year that would allow you to buy a converter kit to change your engine so it accept that fuel and not destroy your engine.
Uh-oh.
count on major relief at the pump.
Don't expect us to get back to the prices we saw before the war anytime soon.
In San Francisco, Suzanne Fawn, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So expect gas prices to stay in the high fives and low sixes for quite some time.
What's wild to me is that you go to other states and they're bitching and moaning about how much gasoline is, and you look at what they're paying and you go, we haven't paid this since the 90s.
Last time I was in Texas and everyone was freaking out because gas was $3.75. Usually $2.75.
Every time I go to a different state and I see gas that cheap, it's like going to a different place and running into a Blockbuster that's still open.
Feel like you stepped into a time warp?
It's like finding dinosaur bones. Like, really? You have a Blockbuster, huh? And it's not like a museum or anything. People actually shop there.
I'll never forget, earlier this year, my wife and I are driving around Santa Fe in my in-laws' car, and my wife pulls into the gas station, not because we needed gas, but because gas was $2.69 and she wanted to see what that felt like.
I went to Maui once, and I forgot something. I forgot a bathing suit, and I needed to buy one. And a local goes, well, have you ever thought about going to Sears? And I go, well, it's not 1985, so no. They still have a Sears on Maui. That's what they did the last time I was there. All right, we've got one more hour coming up on the John Phillips Show. Don't you go anywhere.
AFPHannity.com. AFP.
Thanks so much.
Savings start now at the Simpson Family of Viewers.
Need to do that. Discipline today is more on the order of depriving a child of opportunities and pleasures, or requiring the child to make up for the wrong and do what is right. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But fathers cannot spare the rod, however the rod is determined, for that is a fatherly duty. There are different kinds of rods which must be employed today. Without discipline, for there is nothing worse for a father than a child spoiled and bent upon his own way. Demanding standards, the terms and conditions of sonship are a father's duty, which cannot be delegated or ignored. And the scriptures make it perfectly clear. Whom the Father loves, He chastens. Let me repeat that. Whom the Father loves, says the Scriptures, He chastens. Love requires discipline. Chastening is real love at work. By their fruit, loving discipline at work, ye shall know the Father and who the Father truly is. The integrity of the Father is critical. Dads must do what they say, and dads must say what they mean. The Father must live by the same standards He requires of the child. The Father must be consistent in character, live a life with values and without hypocrisy. Nothing is harder for a child to accept than lectures about right and wrong from a father who lives by neither, so that a father does not have to explain or justify the demands. The father does not have to negotiate with the child, and in the course of discipline, ask the child if what the father wants and what is right is okay with the child. For it matters not if the child agrees with the father. If a child respects a loving father, that's all that's required. So many families seem to have so little respect for each other and rapidly become dysfunctional. Respect is critical in a vital and dynamic family relationship. Tomorrow, it may sound a bit antiquated by today's standards, but Mr. Crawford says that fathers must be the head of their household. I'm Bill McCormick.
I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. You're listening to K-Bright.
This is 50,000-watt KVRT and KVRT HD Costa Mesa.
KNSN San Diego, 100.7 in Corona. San Diego, 103.3, and on the web at kbrightradio.com.
Here's a timeless truth from Pastor Shane Idleman.
Words carry weight. They were preaching the gospel. God, I don't know why, I don't know how, but there's life in words. There's death in words. Most kids that are broken kids right now are because of the words spoken to them by their parents and others. Words are powerful. They were turning, they were shaping the mindset of this governor. And so he tried to withstand them with words as well. It's funny. It happened to me on that day I told you about when I said to you, this guy, I told him, hey, I was just diagnosed with this. And like, oh my God, I can't. No, it's okay. Here's what God's doing in my heart. And I came back to the Lord, this prodigal, and he changed his topic. I said, wait, hold on. Let me go back to the prodigal son story. And they changed the topic again. Like, hold on. We're going to finish this topic. God brought me to deep repentance. I fully surrendered my life to Christ. And you can tell. This is not how do I withstand this? Because your light is stronger than the darkness. Your light is stronger than the darkness. That's how you defeat darkness. You shine the light. Man, I got darkness in my home. My kids are ABC.
On the 10 eastbound before it gets Robertson Boulevard, we got a crash blocking the two left lanes. It is going to be stopped from Centinela. In Malibu, PCH northbound at Topanga Canyon Boulevard. Got a little road work going on. The left lane is closed. It is stopped from Temescal Canyon Road. In Universal City on the 101 northbound before you get to Vineland Avenue, another new wreck. This is going to be blocking the right lane. 1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com. While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether it's a family business or at home with his wife and son. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert instant loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not a natural client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money. Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and can create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away. Albert can get me up to $10,000? Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run. I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Continue at 2:05 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wayne's in Culver City.
You know, one of the nice things about being a live radio show is we have a crack team of researchers known as the audience that will look up things that we're not sure about during the break. Alan writes in at johnny.likeshow@gmail.com. The historic Sears department store located in the Queen Kahulahu Center in Kahului permanently closed November 14th, 2021.
Well, I guess if you forget your bathing suit, that's no longer an option.
It did not survive COVID.
You know what I'm going to miss most about Sears not being there anymore?
What's that?
Is the photo booth. Remember the photo booth at Sears?
Oh, yeah.
Where you would go and they would have all of these big posters outside the photo center where you get to look at examples as to what they could produce for you and your family. But instead of normal pictures being on the posters, it's always the ladies from Reseda only in outer space. It's all of these women. They look like they're consiglieres of the Mexican mafia, where they have the drawn-on eyebrows, they have the hair pulled back, they're staring the camera down like they're about ready to murder the photographer. And then behind them, you see Mars and Jupiter and Uranus and Saturn. You see the constellations. I don't know what the theory is of putting those women in outer space. Like it's Superman 2 or something. Like, what's the idea behind that? Where they're sitting at the tower in Chicago, trying to map out what the corporation's going to look like in all the different cities in the United States. I got an idea. Let's put a photo center in. Appeal to the girlfriends of gang members. Have them take official portraits with all of their friends. And what the hell? Let's put them in outer space too. Not on a comet, not on a rocket, not in a spaceship. Let's just have them floating. Let's have them float in outer space. What other ideas did they kick around before they decided on putting them in outer space? How about putting them underwater? Wouldn't that be interesting? Where you have the ladies from Reseda and you got a whale behind them. Let's just put a treasure chest over there. How about an octopus over her shoulder? Let's put Flipper in there. Kids love that. How about the Little Mermaid? Let's put them on a farm. Put a tractor behind them. Maybe some cornfields. Why not just a gray backdrop? Wouldn't that be interesting? A white backdrop. Something normal that you would see in a portrait. But you take these women and then you put them in outer space And then the other thing that I love is if one of them goes missing, which inevitably is going to happen, they're going to piss off one of their boyfriends, and boom, they're in the trunk of a car. And the only thing that you're going to see is you're going to see the smoke coming out of the tailpipe when the pissed off boyfriend compresses the gas pedal. And then the family goes to the news. Oh, our beloved daughter is missing. We need the community to look out for her. If they see her, they need to call 911 so we can bring her back. Do you have a picture that we can use on the news so we can get the word out? As a matter of fact, we do. Here she is with her lovely friend with tattoos on her face floating in outer space. Put that on the news. Okay. Because that's what the 1990s was. Anytime there was a missing person, it was one of those Sears photos.
That was the file photo.
Yeah, no one ever had a normal photo from Sears. I get it if it's like a gag thing. Sometimes people go to these places where you can dress up like it's the Old West, where the women can dress up like they work at a bordello, the guys can all dress up like Wyatt Earp, but it's a gag. Outer space backdrops, that was like the go-to thing at Sears. Everyone wanted outer space. Okay. Enjoy that, Buzz Aldrin.
Get it out of your system.
It's just strange to me. I never understood that. I remember being a little kid, walking through Sears, and we'd go by the photography place, and I remember asking my mom, why are they all in outer space? What's the deal with the stars? Keep walking. Okay, get me my hot dog on a stick. It would be at the Westminster Mall, which I think is now occupied by homeless people, correct?
Well, they finally demolished it. So now they're building a new use facility. But yes, they finally demolished the Westminster Mall.
All right. Okay, let's move on. In Winnetka, as you mentioned before, there is a child care center where apparently the kids are testing positive for meth.
And because of the state's lax regulations on child care centers that put kids in harm's way, it's still operating today. For more, here's an investigative report from CBS in Los Angeles. Here we go.
This preschool is where
Oh, you know, we're going to play this one on this feed because that one is in mono for some reason.
This preschool is where 3 kids tested positive for methamphetamine. You would imagine it would be shut down after that, but the doors here are still open. And some parents say the business is not holding up to its end of the bargain.
Well, you know, Randy, if there were actual kids at the daycare center, we can't blame the Somalis for this one.
My daughter, she don't sleep for 2 days. No eat, no nothing. Jose Aguilar says,
I mean, it did used to be peddled as a weight loss drug.
Imagine getting your kid home and they're all high on meth. Why aren't you eating your chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs tonight? And why do you keep banging your head up against the wall and picking at your skin?
Jose Aguilar says this is video of his daughter behaving abnormally in May of 2024 after the 4-year-old at the time came home from daycare and vomited.
Mama. Hey. Diablo. ¿Me quieres a un día al hospital?
Wait, did he call her Diablo?
Maybe he thought she was